What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarouche.
And this is Vinland Saga, Episode 5 and Episode 6. 2 more episodes. This time, finally watching the actual show.
Yeah.
We have finished the prequel. It is time to watch the squeakquel.
The what?
The squeakquel?
No.
Alvin!
No. That's enough of that. We're gonna
that was an anime.
Get into the...
That was half anime, half live action.
Sure.
We call that an animaction. You're really not into me today.
I don't like that.
If you want the flick reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. If you don't, stay here because you're already here, and the cringe has only just begun.
Oh, God.
The context of that shot is so wild. Because you're like, oh, like a family friend died. And they're like, no, they gave up 8 sheep. They're crying because they gave up 8 sheep.
For a slave who had already died.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like, not that he did it. I get why he did it. It's that...
Oh, yeah, it's just the context of the shot.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like... It isn't what you, would think that it would be.
Yeah, because the sister isn't upset for the reason that it seems like.
Yes.
Oh, we haven't cut to the future. Okay.
Hey, did we run out of booze already? How do we dull the pain?
It's a great question. How do we dull the pain? That was a really cool shot.
We won't be here for long. Just stopping for a short rest.
Get some of your spell slots back. Maybe
short rest, very important.
Use some hit dice.
Mm-hmm.
And that was how Thorfinn died. The end of Vinland Saga.
Oh my god.
Sometimes with a shot like that, I'm like, I wish I could have been in the booth watching the voice actor.
Oh. Just make the noises. Yeah.
Let no one escape. We don't want any rats.
Oh, I thought they were gonna be
what the fuck?
I don't know what that is. I thought they were gonna be gone by the time we woke up because you said they weren't staying long.
Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't think we were burning a village.
Well, the sun went down and everything. I guess our ideas of a long time are just different. You think that the bigger is better?
I mean,
that thing
he just has
is
to drop
longer
it,
than he is.
Right? Let the momentum of its weight carry it through the guy.
Drink so much.
That was a very interesting scene.
Yeah.
No dialogue, but...
You should have beheaded me in my bed last night.
My father taught me better than that.
You're supposed to swing the weapon, not the other way around.
Oh, shit. That fucking sucked. God damn.
Yeah.
Well, you look like pig dung, boy. Eat this. What's his problem? Thought we were only being nice.
Yeah, you guys are so nice.
Damn it.
The, fall foliage art is really well done.
Yes, the scenery has been stunning.
So sad.
I know.
Cool. Great show.
Yeah.
There's nothing anybody can do about his death. And crying's only gonna make you hungry.
Hungry?
I'll find Thorfinn. I swear I will. No matter how long it takes.
Well, I never thought he was gonna have a long life in the first place. It's not always easy when you have a father that strange.
Are you sure that you're all right?
Of course she's not okay.
Yeah.
She's coping.
You don't need to do
No! I can handle it. Just stay in bed.
I didn't even think the sister was going to come back for a while. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think we could really use some help around here. Maybe I'll get myself a husband.
That's why people got married for most of human history.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll be fine. I'm not that tired yet.
Yeah, there it is. Well, this show's fucking depressing. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like, all right.
It's very
Goddamn.
good. Like, it's not like it's intentionally that way, but
Yeah.
fuck, it hurts.
Sorry. You're just too much of a weakling.
Well.
Thorfinn sits alone crying in the episode.
Yeah.
You're supposed to swing the weapon, not the other way around.
So you're just gonna kill this coyote?
Yeah. I mean, kill or be killed, right? Let's go, Thorfinn.
Yeah.
Never give up, never surrender. You know what I mean? That's a few days of meat right there, though.
I don't think it's dead. It just, like, casually laid down.
I think it's bleeding out
like,
of its
getting
neck. I think it's dead.
I don't know. It was just kind of, I was like, all right. That's way too slow.
This is the saddest training montage ever.
Yeah, I know.
Just like a 10-year-old.
I don't even think he's 10. I think he's, like, maybe 7. He's like, how did I do that last time?
He's doing geometry. It's fucking Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting with the chalkboard, just like, if I throw it at a 37-degree angle. I also love that guy was like, we're not staying here long.
I know,
but
I'm
we're
very
staying here long
confused.
enough to have a very
Training
significant
montage.
training montage.
Because he was like, yeah, we don't need to worry about the boats because we're not going to be here for... Yeah, I don't know. Hey, look at him go.
This is the saddest form of joy I've ever seen put into media. Jesus Christ. Let's go, Thorfinn.
We stayed longer than expected.
Yeah.
God, he's relentless.
Tell you one thing, the boy has guts. I want to see you fight him, Askeladd!
Well, I guess if that guy wants to see it.
A chieftain's supposed to live up to his men's expectations.
Yeah, beat up a little kid. That's what they love to see.
I, Askeladd, son of Olaf, accept your challenge in the name of
Do
Odin.
you want to build a snowman?
Don't even.
Every time I hear him say that.
Really? You want to meet your father again so soon?
He's going to land a blow. And Askeladd's going to be impressed and take him under his wing. Right?
Yeah, he's going to do something.
He's like...
It's like, bro.
That's the end of it. He never stood a chance.
Come on, Thorfinn, you got this.
On your feet! Isn't this a duel?
That's enough, don't you think? He'll be dead before long.
When did you get any sense of morality?
Changed your mind? How come?
Oh, shit! So close.
This isn't over! Not until I kill you! You'll die for what you did!
Good luck with that.
Prove yourself on the field of battle. You do that, and I'll reward you with a proper duel.
Yeah, but the problem is, like...
What a weird setup for a show.
Well, it's also, like...
Get good one day and we'll do this again.
Yeah, Because if he's like, I don't know, he seems like he's like 7 to me. So he's gonna need like at least 10 years.
I promise. I will kill you.
All right. That's some good shit.
All right. I honestly, yeah, I like. We're definitely. It definitely still feels like we're in the like, the setup. Like this.
It is the longest road to get to a show that's basic premise is this kid wants to get good so that he can fight this guy.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like it's not the most.
It just like seems like the show is treating it like it's way more complicated than it is.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like the premise is simple. It doesn't. That's not like a dig. That's not a negative. That's not bad. But it is very simple.
Yeah.
And I honestly wish that we had a sense of who Thorfinn was before we met his dad. Because, like, I think... I think,
you mean older Thorfinn.
Yeah, sorry. I just think meeting his dad first kind of, like, I don't know. I think it takes something special away from it. And this is just a personal opinion. Like, I don't think that there's, like, a correct way to do this. But I think for me, like, seeing who a person is and then seeing how they got there is more interesting because I connect the dots as we go. Right now, I have no idea what kind of person he is because he's, like, 7, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I actually kind of wish that we'd had him a bit older and then see how he got here and what parts of his personalities he forged himself, what he got from his like father, and where and like seeing where those pieces like came from and like fell into place. But I think that's kind of just a personal preference for me.
For me, like I think that if you're gonna do a slow burn, the landing of it has to be like have a lot more depth than this show has. It's a little bit shallow in terms of the tropes that it's playing with, which aren't, I in my opinion, aren't being used very creatively. Like I think that it still feels very generic, and so it is so interesting because I think that if you watch a lot of like Western media about Vikings, this feels very generic. It doesn't feel like a lot of other anime shows, and I think that like that might be like it is kind of the show that is bringing those tropes into this medium. But I don't think that what it is doing with those tropes is particularly interesting. And part of it is I think there's like a lack of like cultural specificity at times around the Viking beliefs and the culture of the show.
Well, they're not really part of it. They haven't mentioned really any of their religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like a period in history where for a lot of people, religion is the center stone of your everyday life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem to be the case for like any of the people we've met so far.
And was this central conflict piece between like these people and the English, right? Like it was such a huge part of the conflict of the time.
Well, and that was kind of the like, oh yeah, the one guy, killed everybody, took over for reasons before. Don't worry about him. That's just why we ended up here, but it's not important to the here and the now. Like reasons didn't seem to translate to like their lives that we are currently watching.
Having said that, and I feel like that's all I feel like big picture, I don't love this show right now. In the small picture, in the moment to moment beats of the show, I really do. I think that the narrative around the sister is the best part of the show now.
I think that
strangely
was the strongest part of the episode, even though it was very...
It was so deep. Yeah. And it was such a deep, complex way of showing this, again, not very unique idea, but like showing it in a way that did feel unique. And I think that the moments when the show does get those kind of things that feel like this show's version of something, I hook into them a little bit more because she couldn't stop using her hands. She had to keep working. She had to keep doing these things because as soon as she stopped, it was real. And I loved the way they portrayed that over that 4-scene little vignette in the middle of this episode.
That was great.
In the same way that I really loved the scene with Thorfinn standing over Askeladd with the sword. I think that like those two are really the highlights of this episode in a way that are still keeping me interested in the narrative, even as the larger narrative is shaping up to be kind of this very simple version of revenge storytelling. That I don't know. It's interesting because the writing is so tight on the small scale, and I think a little bit loose on the big scale. And I want them to translate some of that to the big scale a little bit more. I'm
really interested in where Leaf's storyline is going to go, to be honest. Thought he was like a cool character, even though he wasn't doing a ton, but he was still interesting and introduced well. Mm-hmm. And then him being like, I'll find Thorfinn. Like that's a storyline that I'm excited for the show to explore, and that I hope that it leans into. Because like he's a person who is like clearly very capable and has a lot of personality
and a lot of knowledge. Like he seems like the most intellectual character on the show.
Yeah, I want to see him figure out how to accomplish his goals.
Yeah, I think that one of the tensions that I feel with the show right now is that it seems like the sister storyline needs to play out in real time. Not fully in real time. I don't need to see every minute of every day. But it seems like the next 6 months of her story are the most interesting.
Really?
How does she adapt to being the leader of her household because her mom is sick, right? Like that, to me, she's of an age where her storyline right now is so interesting to me.
Well, she's wearing a helmet in the opening sequence, right? So she clearly... doesn't sit around and do nothing.
For me, Thorfinn's storyline isn't going to be interesting for a few years. Like, there's only so much I can watch a kid get kicked around and that I'll stay around for. Yeah. Like, there's a point where it just becomes garish and, like, I get it. It's sad. And it's well done. Yeah. It's very sad, and it is well done in this episode. But I don't want to watch seasons of that. Yeah. And it doesn't seem from the opening that that's going to happen. And so what's weird to me is that I feel like Leaf and the sister, their storylines, I'm very curious about what the next year of their lives look like.
Whereas
but I want the time jump for Thorfinn.
Yeah, give him. He needs like at least like 6 years. You know.
I think again, it goes back to like if I think they'd started with the main story and then seeded this in as flashback, I wouldn't be as concerned about when the time jump is coming. Like honestly, like right now, I kind of want them to get to the time jump so that I can stop thinking about when are we time jumping, because I feel like that's kind of getting in the way of the show a little bit for me, in a way that is not the writing or not about the story, but just is like a metatextual thing. That
like when do we get into the story?
Yeah, when am I gonna stop watching this kid get kicked around? Yeah. Because he is angry, and I get that, but also can't do anything about it, and I get that as well. And like it's not that any of it's poorly written. I'm just kind of like I feel weird about the fact that I'm like waiting for them to like get to the plot.
There's a tension there that maybe like it isn't our favorite. Like that's not the kind of tension that we're enjoying watching this. And
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe someone is, but I agree with you. We got another episode, so.
It's a really interesting show in that moment to moment, I keep looking at it going, this is really well made, right? Like I don't have any complaints about the making of it, and it's not working for me. And that is like it's a strange tension because the animation is gorgeous, the sound design is perfect. Despite all the people complaining about the dub, I think the dub voice acting is really well. I honestly think Askeladd is the best of it. I think the actor who plays Askeladd's voice acting is fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's weird. All of the elements are working for me. The show just isn't. And I'm like, I don't know if it is just that I'm like, okay, when are we getting to it? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm just impatient, but it feels very strange to me right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too. So.
Yeah, let's watch the next one.
Let's do it.
In the Middle Ages, many Danish sailors and warriors pillaged their way through the settlements of Northern Europe. They were known as Vikings.
Is this episode 1?
To the west, a vast and fertile island known as England had long been their object of desire.
I like how they use the word fertile there.
Those mushrooms.
Okay, I'm not crazy, right? That felt like the beginning of an episode 1.
Yeah.
All right, this spot looks good. To the shore, men!
I would like for the show to like give us some others in that group with a personality if we're going to be spending so much time.
The smell is really starting to get to me.
The smell is... I thought you guys were murderers.
Yeah, but like, those are like day-old bodies. They stinky.
What's that? What the hell just happened?
It's for a job. Deal just closed.
All right, then we should eat our food now.
So that guy has super hearing?
I think so.
And if you pull any tricks, I'll...
Well, I don't think the deal's closed anymore.
No deal. No deal.
Hey, here! Why are you guys always so loud?
Oh.
Well, that went to shit fast.
Yeah.
Damn.
A little post-meal workout? Let's go!
A little post-meal workout. Wait, I just processed that. That's Yo, you're being pounded with arrows. Grab your shields. What are you doing?
Prove yourself on the field of battle. You do that, and I'll reward you with a proper duel.
It's been like 2 days. He's like, it's my chance. I'm taking him down.
Yeah.
You Danes take our land, then dare to hold a grudge?
My mistake. I thought you were dead.
Jesus Christ.
It's fine. He only got a little stabbed.
Yeah. Wow. Fuck, this show's bleak. God damn.
Yeah.
You know what I see when I see that shot? The yellow dollar sign that says, this episode of your YouTube channel has been demonetized.
Ah, yes. Limited monetization for the Nerdy Nightly. That is our story.
Don't worry, we're used to it. Let's go, Thorfinn. You feel that emotional anguish.
It's honestly, I'm sorry. At this point, it's kind of like too much.
Really? This point?
I mean, it's kind of getting to that.
Oh my god.
It's just kind of getting to the point where, like, I'm like, okay, I get it. Here's his montage, I guess.
He's like 10 years old. He's wearing no armor and he has a knife. All right, yeah, I guess he's like the child soldier now. And this is when he started dual wielding. With the reverse grip on the left. Clarus's favorite trope.
Look, if you use reverse grip on your offhand for defense, I have no problem with that. If you cut your main reach in half,
I agree.
I don't think I'll ever understand. Like, and he already only has daggers. If he fucking...
He did a little spinny spin.
He did the spin.
He did the spin.
He got along quite well with the Danes. He had everyone's respect. He was a nice man and a fine Christian.
He's also your grandfather, and we never told you. He looks so much like Link now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're awake.
Oh, good. You're finally awake.
The clothes might be a little big for you, but I'm afraid it's all we have for boys.
I'm getting Edward Elric, like, I'm short vibes. Did he just shit himself?
I have never heard a noise like that.
That sounded like diarrhea.
Yeah.
If I left an injured child lying there, Jesus would never forgive me.
But Mother...
Because it only matters what Jesus thinks.
This is giving, because he looks like Link, I'm getting weird Wind Waker, or Link's Awakening vibes. He has to go wake up the windfish.
You, woman.
Yes? What is it?
We're searching for a Danish scout who's hidden somewhere in this area. Have you seen a suspicious-looking child? He's an expert combatant who killed 2 of His Majesty's soldiers. He was struck with an arrow in his left arm.
He's blonde, he looks like that kid right there.
Woman, is this your child?
Yes, he is. John, my youngest. Why, sir?
Huh.
She's gonna die.
Yeah.
Run. Run now.
What? No, wait!
Because he knows his buddies are gonna come kill them all.
Yeah. How was that the signal? He was shot by an arrow like 3 days ago.
I don't know.
Like, this can't have been planned.
Maybe they were like in 48 hours, like give you time to scout. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Did he eat a mushroom? Fuck.
Run to the forest! Get away from the ocean! They'll be here any minute!
I just kind of, I don't know, it's been like several episodes of people just murdering one another, and I just have never found it that interesting.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
I was hoping the end here would have a twist, right? I was hoping this would be the setup for his character to then be like, oh no, there's something different in store for him. Like, he's gonna like walk away, or he's gonna make like a different choice. But it was just kind of like, okay, like, he's a murderer, they're all murderers, a bunch of innocent people get murdered, the English suck. Like, none of that is new.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... I like, structurally now, am very confused as to what the show wants me to be invested in.
I don't know, because I don't really care now, right? Because I was like, oh, Thorfinn's dad died. Mm-hmm. And he's going to have to come to terms with that, and hopefully in a narratively interesting way. But he's just, like, going around, like, murdering people, and, like, I just don't find that very interesting.
But I mean, there's something interesting about him working with the people who killed his dad in some weird element. In
out
like,
of necessity?
Out of, like, no, but out of a, like, Askeladd has to live so that I can be the one to kill him kind of vibe. The problem is that no one around Thorfinn is very interesting. And so I don't really care about his relationship with the crew yet. And that's why I was saying at the beginning, I was like, I hope that they, like, flesh out some of them maybe.
Well, and also
like, flesh
his
out
relationship,
some relationships.
Even with Askeladd. Like, they don't really...
they don't talk.
He was just like, go scout.
Which we have to get into. None of that makes any fucking sense. They're on top of a mountain overlooking. He's like, go scout. Mm-hmm. At which point, Thorfinn goes, gets shot, drifts down a river, gets found by a lady, gets taken to a village.
The village that he was supposed to scout, question mark?
The village, maybe, that he must have been unconscious for like a day. To have healed as much as he did. Because he's no longer bleeding. It is fully healed over. Which means he's been like there for a while.
He's bandaged, so
No. He's, when he wakes up, he sits up and he has a scar here. And there is no like blood coming out. He's been
Oh, I thought that was
healing.
A different wound.
No, that's where the arrow hit him, was in the shoulder. He's been in that bed for like a while.
72 hours at least.
At least a while. Like, he should still have stitches, but he has a scar. So, which means that he's been there for a while, but then when they're in the boat, when they were on top of the mountain earlier, he's like, it's supposed to be coming any second now, as if the plan the entire time was for you to go get shot and, like, brought into the village.
Or maybe the plan was you're going to take, like, a week to scout out? I don't know why you would need that much time, like, to suss out what a village's defenses would be. Because here's the thing, what's he scouting out? The village defenses, right?
No, but he doesn't scout out anything.
Well, he kills 2 guards. And...
No, but that's like days ago. He doesn't, he literally takes fire.
And if it was days ago, they would have probably sent for reinforcements.
He wakes up in a village, takes fire, walks it down to the shore, lights a hut on fire, and then starts fighting people.
Yeah.
But before he lights the hut on fire, what is this signal of?
The signal is the village is here? I don't know.
But they know the village is there.
I don't
They're waiting for Thorfinn to signal them that he's ready to fight.
I don't know what he was
I don't
scouting.
understand what the point of any of that was.
I don't
Which is fine, right? It's about getting him to have the... It is unfortunately convoluted to get him to a good emotional place to have this like interaction with this woman, right? Who is like the good version of an English person who isn't like immediately evil or whatever, and they have a nice interaction.
But like, why does Thorfinn think the English are evil?
He doesn't. But he's fighting against them because he's working with Askeladd right now because he needs to prevail in combat so that he can duel Askeladd in the future.
He just seems very willing to like work with these people that he hates. I don't know. I honestly don't get it. I don't get it. It's not working for me.
Yeah. Everything about that was so convoluted, but the plot isn't complicated, so it's just convoluted, but the plot is still super simple. And I'm assuming it gets deeper at some point. Like, I'm assuming this show, like, opens up. It's not doing that right now. And so it just, I don't know. I don't know, honestly. And it's not, like, there's good themes. Like, it's not like there's no good themes. It's not like there's no good writing. Some of the writing is really good. There's just also, like, long periods of time where things aren't happening. And
well, and that's the thing. I don't know if it's, like, really good for reactions. Because I'm just watching people get murdered, and so I'm kind of like desensitized to it, right? I think when people when art and media uses violence the best is when it like uses it sparingly in a way that gets you to have an emotional reaction. But I have no real emotional reaction to any of this because I'm like, oh yeah, child's getting beat up, child's murdering people, innocent people are dying. Like it's just like all dark, and so I'm kind of like. Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I can see how this show can get there, right? Like, I can see how if you give Thorfinn some relationships with this crew, give him an actual, like, give him some scenes to build a relationship with Askeladd and get to the point where he is questioning whether or not he actually wants to kill Askeladd.
Even Thorfinn doesn't really have a personality yet.
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
He is, like, angry. And I
that's
think that's kind of it. He's angry, and nobody else is really unique. Like, Askeladd, honestly, Askeladd's the best character in the last couple episodes. And
I like Leif. I still think
Leif just wasn't in this
makes
episode.
An interesting story. No, I agree, but he was in the one previously very briefly. And that was what interested me. I was like, oh, his story here would be kind of interesting. But
there was also a weird shot of Thorfinn's sister fighting on a boat. Completely contextless in this episode. Like, who is she fighting? Is she in England? Where was that fight?
I don't remember that.
There was a shot of her on the boat with like a shield holding it up in the time passing montage. And there's zero context for what is happening in that shot.
I think I missed that. I did not put that together.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that wasn't her. That was him with a ponytail.
No, that was his sister.
No, that was him with the ponytail. With the shield on the ship.
Oh, was it? I thought it was his sister. I was like, oh, cool, she's doing something.
No, Thorfinn, for some reason, had a ponytail for one shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought his sister... I was like, why is his sister at war?
Yeah, that would have been really weird.
You know what's also interesting is, Askeladd, right now, being a mercenary and being, like, the only real, position we have in the war... Because he doesn't give a shit, he's just there to fight. I don't have a great sense of what's going on in the war. Like, I don't have a great sense of... Because Askeladd was like, we're a few years away from the...
From everyone being required to invade England.
The invasion, right? We're a few years away from all-out war, and then years pass, and are we at all-out war now? There's a lot of contextual stuff that I don't think the show is doing right now that I find a little bit odd.
Yeah.
And again, it's weird. Like the last episode, where like none of it's bad. Like it's not poorly made.
Yeah.
It's just kind of boring, and the violence is not particularly interesting.
Yeah, it's just like a lot. You know, it's just a lot of killing, and I understand that that's like the time, and that's like a representation of it. But like, you know, even when I was watching like The Last Kingdom, the violence feels more intentional there than it does here. And yeah, honestly, like I think that they did it better.
Yeah, I think that like I could use a couple of scenes with like, because Askeladd is like, he wants this gold, right? He's like, I need 5 pounds of gold. Show us where they're trading that, and give us like an episode where they go and trade and like get their supplies and stuff. So that you can spend time like building the world a little bit more. I think the world's a little undercooked right now.
Yeah.
I think the world's a little undercooked, and I think that you could give some scenes to explain how Thorfinn got so good at fighting that like at 10 he murked multiple men.
I think we're just kind of supposed to believe that, like, he got lucky a few times enough to learn. Because it seemed like the way that they did the montage, he got good, and then he started training with people. Which, like, I think, like, you know,
sure.
He should... I think there should have been some groundwork there of training him. Maybe he gets his
relationship
first
building, right?
Yeah, relationship
like
building, training, actually, like, forming as either a warrior or a man or whatever you want to call it. I totally agree, because it kind of just... comes out of nowhere.
And it's
like he gets one kill, he gets lucky. You know, we see how that happens, and
he's emotional about it. And like that scene, fucking great. That scene is fantastic.
Yeah.
But then he just starts killing people, and then he kills a guy by taking his dagger, and is like, "Oh, I use 2 daggers now." And I was like, "What? That's not something you decide in the moment. That's something you train in. Like there are forms, and there's a way to become a 2-dagger fighter, right? You don't just like pick up somebody's dagger while murdering them, and you're like, oh, I can hold 2 of these. And then you're like, this is me now. Like, that to me is really weird.
Yeah.
Narratively weird, right? That's not how you get good at stuff. When we're reading The Wheel of Time, like, I really appreciated early Wheel of Time that, like, Lan and Rand would, like, train. And because of that, there is an emotional payoff later in the series in their relationship that is tied into that time they spent together.
It is one of my favorite parts about Aragon.
And another great series that does that really well. I think that if there was a little bit more in that montage of like who in Askeladd's camp are the ones who are building relationship with him and training him, that montage could have set up what's going on in the present a little bit better. But it kind of just feels like they just let him be around for some reason. Yeah. And I don't know why.
Because there's a lot you could do in there. You could have some of them who actually help and train him and, like, you know, care. You could have some of them who are, like, shitty and take the opportunity to pick on a kid. Because obviously none of these are really good people. They go around, like, murdering, right? Yeah. So you have a distinction between, like, who is there for the money, who's there because they like killing, who helps take care of him, or maybe tries to take care of him and, like, they don't allow him. And there's like different, like, even if they're not super individual, you can put like that you can put that kind of stereotypical role on at least a few people, so we have some distinctions as opposed to we have Thorfinn, we have Askeladd, and then we have the masses.
No, and Berserker Boy.
Even he doesn't have a personality except that he likes mushrooms.
And he has red eyes.
Well, when he eats the mushroom. Yeah.
No, he just says his eyes are like pinky reddy.
Yeah, I guess they're like really warm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly why it's not working for me, but it's not working for me.
It's funny at the end of last episode, I was like, I'm anxious for the time skip. And then the way they did the time skip, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can name like 4 characters on the show. And we're 6 episodes in.
Leaf. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not bad. It's just not very interesting.
Yeah. I have a feeling the next 2 episodes we'll record and decide if we want to release them. Because right now it's kind of like I'm in a weird space of like, I don't know if I want to keep reacting to the show because I don't feel like I'm doing a good job of making reaction content. Because
there's not a lot to react to. It's not very...
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll continue with this one. I think we might, you know, test it out and see if we want to continue with it. But if it's just more of the same, I don't really want to just keep doing more of the same.
Yeah, if it's more of this, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that this is very interesting to watch us watch. And honestly, like, for the people that this show is for, I don't know why they would tune in to watch us watch this. If it's not working for us.
Exactly, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's sort of feeling like some of the stuff later on in Attack on Titan that I wasn't a fan of, but earlier.
Attack on Titan was such a weird thing though, because immediately, like at first we were like, holy shit, this like, and that was like a roller coaster of a ride. This is just like so kind of chugging along.
But in comparison, right? Like if you look at like the first 6 episodes of Attack on Titan, by the time we got to this point in Attack on Titan, we had probably 20 characters that I could name whose like personalities and relationships to Eren and our lead characters I had a fundamental understanding of.
Yeah.
We didn't understand the plot because it was a mystery show, but at the same time, like we were in the middle of a situation that felt like everybody was involved in. The stakes felt very high. Like by because episode 6 is when Eren gets bit, right? And so like
I don't even know.
By that point, like they've gone through military training, like so many of these, like so much has happened, and it just kind of feels like we've watched like 2 episodes of television worth of plot, just kind of stretched out to 6.
Kind of, yeah.
And I feel like honestly, a lot of what we've seen so far could be handled in narration.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know. It's very strange.
I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you were like, you gotta do Vinland Saga because I think you're gonna love it, and I just feel weird that I don't love it. But
my question is, does this pick up? Like, do things start happening on the show?
Do people have relationships?
Do they talk? Do characters just talk to each other about who they are at any point? That's my question. At some point, does the show become about how these characters are growing and their relationships with one another? Or is it just kind of like Vikings talking about being Vikings sometimes and fighting a lot? Yeah. And like long kind of montagey moments of like Thorfinn is angry all the time. And it's like, yeah, it's not, like, I'm not particularly deep.
I get it. Yeah, I get why he's angry, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're being like weirdly harsh, but also like not that harsh. Like, 'cause I'm not saying it's bad. I've never felt this way watching something before.
No, me neither, because I would have stopped watching by now.
Usually shows that I am this bored by are poorly made. And this doesn't feel poorly made. It just feels poorly paced.
Yeah, maybe it's just a pacing issue.
Maybe, I don't know.
I honestly, I'm not sure. Before I started doing like reaction stuff, like if I didn't like a show within the first 2 episodes, maybe 3, but like I would just drop it. And so I've never like this is like a weird position to be in where we're like 6 episodes into a show and I'm like, I want to like this. I like Viking stuff. I think Viking stuff is cool and fun. And we've had so many people in our community say like, I think you guys are really gonna like this. And so I feel like super off kilter because I'm like, I don't know what's not. I don't know. I feel like I've expressed why I think it's not working for me.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job of that.
But I guess that's it works for other people and like that's cool and we're just like different personalities, you know?
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's not bad.
One of the weirdest messages I got this week, honestly, was someone who was like, if you don't like season 1, season 2 is way more boring. And I was like, I don't know how that's possible.
Weird. Okay.
So, I guess let us know in the comments, like, should we keep going or is it just like, just get out?
Yeah, if it's not
because we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. This isn't our most viewed. Like, it's not even really, these videos aren't really getting great views. So, like, I don't know that people care. And maybe, like, there's just a very small minority of people who love the show a lot. Mm-hmm. And, like, this is not, like, the kind of reaction content that we should be making.
I bet Holly Wolf is going to comment on this video and be like, no, stop doing this and do Demon Slayer instead.
Holly, we'll watch it after Dragon Con. Okay, calm down. Bye.
I promise, we'll get to it.
If you like this video, I probably won't. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is my wife. Because it's the old lady. It's definitely the old lady. Feed me, Seymour. No, it's the old lady. That was actually like a really touching scene.
She's gone now, so it's like it doesn't matter, and that kind of made me sad.
Honestly, I feel like we could stop here and we got the show.
He made the choice to keep fighting with the people, and
he chose anger and violence, and I can just like assume that he goes on and commits awful atrocities and violence forever. Yeah, and like that might be what the show is.
Maybe.
Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.